Henry Longfellow. Henry Longfellow was born in Portland, Maine in 1807. Zilpha Wadsworth had been his mother, and she had been a descendant of John Alden, one of the first people to come to America. Longfellow's deepest goal in life was to be a kind-hearted, gentle, perfect man, and had done this through sympathy and love in hope that others would do the same. He lived off of Casco Bay, and through this he wrote the poem My Lost Youth, after the War of 1812. Longfellow attended Bowdoin College at age 15. His peers had been Nathaniel Hawthorne, George B. Cheever, and J.S.C. Abbott. Longfellow's father was eager to have his son become a lawyer, but at age 19, Bowdoin College offered Longfellow a chair to be a professor at modern languages. With this, he was given time to travel and study in Europe. He spent 3.5 years learning the history of France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Holland, and England. He returned to America in 1829 at age 22, spreading the word to his students of the European literature. 2 years later, he married Mary Storer Potter. Then in 1834, when she accompanied Henry to Europe for another preparation for teaching for Harvard, she had died of a miscarriage. Shortly after the passing of his wife, he stayed at the historic Craigie House that soon became the possession of Nathaniel Appleton, and 7 years later married Mr. Appleton's daughter. As a wedding gift, the Craigie House was given. Longfellow had 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls, as mentioned in the Children's Hour.
The Children's Hour. The Children's Hour. Between the dark and daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupation that is known as the Children's Hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is open, and voices soft and sweet. Cameron, put your jacket on. In my study, I see in the lamplight, descending the broad hall stair, Grace Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair. A whisper and then a silence, yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise.
Are you filming me?
They climb up into my turret or the arms and back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me. They seem to be everywhere.
Good. Make it work.
That's awesome. That was my favorite one. Go.
A whisper and then a silence, yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise. Longfellow uses persona in the Children's Hour, and persona is the fictional mask or narrator that tells a story. He uses persona to tell the story of his 3 little girls, Alice, Allegra, and Edith. And between lines 9 through 27, Longfellow describes how the 3 girls played with their father and how he has an undying love for them. Meter is another rhetorical device that Longfellow uses in the Children's Hour. Meter is a regular pattern to the syllabus in lines of poetry, as shown in the first stanza. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupation that is known as the Children's Hour. I like the poem The Children's Hour by Henry Longfellow because the poem talks about his children and his never-ending love for them, and when I first read the poem, I became attached.
Evangeline was composed from a story told to him by his friend Nathaniel Hawthorne. Evangeline was about a woman in search of her bridegroom, though Longfellow had extended her journey. This piece was published in 1847, and 7 years later he resigned from Harvard. He did so that he could have the opportunity of poetic writing. That same year, the song of Hiawatha was created, and this was for the first time gave recognition to Indian themes of imagination and power. In 1861, his wife died of burns. He tried saving her, causing him to receive burns to the face as well. He was given honorary degrees at Oxford and Cambridge, invited by Queen Victoria and requested by the Prince of Wales. So on March 24, 1882, Longfellow passed away.
The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. The 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year. To his friend, if the British march by land or sea, from town to night, hang a lantern aloft in the belfry arch of the North Church tower as a signal light, one if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm love, and tomorrow. So through the night rode Paul Revere, and so through the night went his cry of alarm to every Middlesex village and farm. Through all our history to the last in the hour of darkness and peril and need, the people waken and listen to hear the hurrying hoofbeats of that steed and the midnight message of Paul Revere.
In the poem The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, Longfellow uses the rhetorical devices allusion and personification in the following lines. The watchful night wind as it went, creeping along from tent to tent. The illusion is that Paul Revere is the watchful night wind that is looking over and protecting the countryside. It is personification because the night wind cannot watch or creep along. I like The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere because my mother used to read it to me when I was little, and for that reason it has sentimental meaning.
The arrow in the song. I shot the arrow in the air, it fell to the earth, I knew not where. For so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow in its flight. I breathed a song into the air, it fell to the earth, I knew not where. For who has sight so keen and strong, to follow the flight of the song? Long, long afterward, in an oak, I found the arrow, still unbroke, and the song, from beginning to end, I found again in the heart of my heart.
I like the poem The Arrow in the Song because it shows true undying friendship, and no matter how far, long, or whoever may be with you, you will always carry and find the song of friendship carried by the arrow.
Oh! Stop! Are you filming me? Brittany, get in the picture, and you're like, I want some of this action, and you come running. I'm right here, and you're like, what?
You know I'm recording right now.
Did you really?
Yeah.
And I just said a bad word on camera.
Craig, shut up.
Listen, my children.
Cameron, put your jacket on.
Don't tell me out here. Gangsta. I hate you guys.
I have it.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They seem to be everywhere. Do you think although I abandoned because you have sealed the wall?
I know.
Did you just take a picture?
Well, it's recording now.
Yes, you can!
I'm trying to fall.
Okay, just go!
I'm gonna like really hurt myself.